She slid the ticket through my window like it was a favor, smiled and said, "If you weren't married, I'd give you my number. I've always had a thing for exotic men." My name is Daniel Thompson, MIT grad, aerospace engineer, founder of a tech consultancy with NASA contracts. But to Officer Jennifer Walsh, I was an accent mark on a stereotype. Something to collect, not someone to respect. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I just tapped the recorder in my console, took the card she pushed through the glass, and drove off with three things: a $300 ticket, a phone full of proof, and a plan. At home, my wife Monica caught the storm in my eyes before I said a word. "What happened?" "Nothing I can't handle," I told her, and we both knew that meant everything was about to change. That night, the internet taught me what the badge had been hiding: a pattern. Her page was a museum of diversity captions, eggplant emojis from friends, photos of black men with stiff smiles, and the comments? A chorus of fetish, framed as allyship. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Hi, exotic babe. Still thinking about me?" That ring doesn't have to be permanent. She'd pulled my cell from a police system and slid into my life like authority makes consent. I screenshotted everything. 15 years in engineering taught me a rule: don't rage, architect. So I called my brother Marcus, a civil rights attorney with a 94% win rate and a talent for turning arrogance into exhibits. He flew in on Monday with two suitcases, one of suits, one of strategy. We spread my evidence across the kitchen table: texts, timestamps, social posts, dash cam audio. Marcus skimmed once and said, "She's not just harassing you, she's weaponizing the badge." We built Operation Honeypot. Marcus stood up a decoy profile: handsome, successful, newly divorced cousin from LA. Walsh pounced. Her DMs were a blueprint of crimes: racial fetish talk, explicit photos she'd been sent, shared without consent, offers of consideration during traffic stops, quid pro quo with a gun. Then she got bolder. "You know I can make your life very difficult. Sweetie cops have ways of finding people we're interested in." The text read like a threat because it was one. Marcus grinned. Perfect. Abuse of authority in writing. But prison alone wasn't enough. We needed the system to see itself. That's when Monica slid a flyer across the table. Diversity and inclusion. Building bridges. Live Police Department event 3 weeks. A stage, a mic, a live stream. We didn't ask for permission. We built a presentation the internet couldn't forget. The theater was packed. Officials, leadership, community members. Walsh sat front row in polished blues, chin high, eyes scanning for her next bridge. "Please welcome Officer Jennifer Walsh," the chief announced. She swaggered to the podium. "I'm honored to talk about closer," she caught herself, "better relationships with all communities." I stood at the audience mic, calm as a countdown. "Officer Walsh, could you comment on this message you sent 3 weeks ago?" I cast my phone to the audio feed. Her voice flooded the room. "You know I can make your life very difficult, right, sweetie? Cops have many ways of finding people we're interested in." A wave of murmurs. Her smile cracked. "That's out of context," she said. Marcus rose. "Allow me to provide context." The screen behind her ignited. Every DM, every caption, every threat. "I love diversity. Exotic men are my weakness." Then the explicit barter: favors for leniency. A collective gasp. She lunged for the controls. Too late. The internet had already bitten down Sergeant Davis. Marcus called politely. "Recognize your name in this thread?" Chairs creaked. 3 officers tried to slip out. "For those heading to the lobby," I said. "The FBI is waiting at the doors." Because of course we invited them. Walsh crumpled into a front row seat, hands shaking. The chief cleared his throat. "Officer Walsh, you are suspended pending—" "That won't be necessary," Marcus said, handing over folders. "Evidence is already filed with the U.S. Attorney, FBI, and Civil Rights Commission." Walsh whispered, "How could you?" I walked to the stage, not angry, just finished. "For years, you reduced men like me to a racial fantasy backed by a badge. You thought fear was a feature. Your mistake was assuming we'd be flattered." I let the silence hold. You picked the wrong victims. The screen shifted to 12 names. 12 black men who'd stepped forward once we started pulling thread. The live counter ticked past 100,000 viewers. They escorted her out under lights brighter than any cruiser. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it documents. 6 months later, the headlines had faded, but the work hadn't. 17 officers indicted. A municipal judge removed. Department policy rebuilt from the screws up. Our case became a template taught in law schools. The Thompson Protocol, how to collect, preserve, and deploy evidence against predatory systems without losing your mind or your case. People ask about my company. We grew 340%. New federal contracts, university lectures on justice engineering, applying systems design to civil rights. But the best win wasn't revenue. It was letters from men in Phoenix, Detroit, Charlotte. I used your protocol. It worked. Walsh? She lost the badge. The lawsuits cost her nearly everything. She called me once, crying, asking for mercy. I told her, this isn't fetishization, Jennifer. It's consequence. Monica hugged me in our kitchen that night. You didn't just win, she said. You built something. She was right. Anger burns fast. Systems endure. People think the best revenge is spectacle. It isn't. The best revenge is a standard, one that outlasts the villains and the viral. I keep Walsh's business card in my desk, a reminder of the day she called me exotic. Every time I see it, I remember the lesson. Predators count on silence. Engineers count on systems. And when you give the truth a framework, even a badge has to answer.